Everybody, 9:30. It's the it's the 25th of August, and it's another special guest night. And tonight we've got Mike and Yvonne, and I think a lot of you know who Mike and Yvonne are, but I'll just remind you, they're the guys that own a home in Torrevieja, Costa Blanca, and they run a YouTube channel, just in case you want to know, which is Between the Lakes with Mike and Yvonne, and I've left the link below anyway. Anyway, so tonight we've got another hour. Now, obviously, Mike and Yvonne, I've already got a load of questions to get through, but if we've got time and you want to ask a question in the comments, we'll do it. But I want to get through the questions first, guys, so don't expect miracles. Anyway, and also, obviously, I've pressed the live button, so I'm definitely live. I've made no mistakes at the moment, so that's good. So first of all, I just want to go through my promoters first, and then we'll get into having a chat with Mike and Yvonne. So first of all, Lobster, top people. If you didn't know, it's a mobile phone site. They've got some great deals on at the moment. Now, there is a link below. I don't get nothing out of it. But I'll just promote them. And if anybody's on Camposol or in the surrounding area, they want a SIM card, I mean, I'll give it to you, but you still got to pay for it. But I've got some on me if you want to get a SIM card off me. Currencies Direct, another company that I obviously didn't get a cup, but obviously we're talking about foreign exchange. The main reason why I promote them is because they've got a place on campus. So I don't know about you, being an old person, I like talking to people. I don't like talking on the phone. And what I like about Currencies Direct, being on campus, so they've got their own office. They can come, if you're not, I'm not completely savvy with the internet, they can come to your home if you want. Obviously, there's another link down below. You can find out what the currency rates at the moment. You're not obliged to join them. But if you do, just mention my name and I'll just get a small gifty thing. Anyway, coffee fund. It all helps, as they say. And I've got to thank, first of all, Chris. I put Chris, and he's left me a message to Sean. Here's a coffee from Chris and the Upsticks team. So, pretty much Upsticks, most appreciate that. Martin, he's left a message, coffee and the Kit Kat time. Pretty much, Martin, top man. Most appreciate as always. And the last name, I could have a, it's, I think he's French. I think you're French, sir. And I most appreciate it. I've got Jean-Pierre Shuri. Anyway, he knows who he is. And I most appreciate it. And he's put on there electricity bill. Because if you watched my live vlogs, you saw me talk about my electric bill for August. I nearly had a heart attack. But anyway, most appreciate that, Gene. Anyway, obviously, another one is the Expat and Mazaron merchandise. Here's one of them. You can get this lovely, no, not that one. That's mine on that. But you get an Expat and Mazaron subscribers cut. You can get like merchandise. Anyway, there's a link below for that as well. T-shirts, yeah, T-shirts. Obviously, another most important thing, guys, obviously for people living here in Spain, and obviously people think about moving to Spain, is information sites. Because I just give you a guide. You don't really want to take everything that I say, but you want to go on to the proper sites. Now, one of the good ones is the Citizens of Spain. You can download information sheets and you can actually ask them questions. And obviously another important one for us Brits is the Gov UK site. Now they've got three categories, which is living in Spain. And that's always pretty good to see what's going on at the moment. Healthcare, obviously another important one for us guys. That's the S1s. And check your passports. Another important thing, because obviously since Brexit, things have changed a bit. You've got to have 2 pages empty now, apparently. And you've got to make sure it's all up to date. You've got to have 6 months left I know a couple of people here left it right to the last moment. I think there's some dispute going on at the moment, and passports are taking a lot longer than they should, but I can't say that for definite. Another site for people thinking about Camposol, it's an internet site. It's called the Camposol FactCrusader.com. If you go on there, it will tell you all the latest news, what's going on, and past news as well, what's going on about Camposol. Now, I've got a small section here called Camposol News for this month in August. Temperatures have now reached records according to the Spanish news. So this month's temperatures here in Spain, according to the Spanish weather thing, was the highest on record. Now, I can't say that's 100%. I think somebody did say to me, well, back in the 70s, that there was a dire thing here in Spain. People were dying, cattle were dying. So, but it was a really hot month. I think what it is, it's been, even though we had a long sort of coldish winter, wet winter, everything was green. It's all died off now, and we've had quite a few fires, and we've had a few fires not far from Camposol, and obviously down south, and I believe up north as well, has had some bad fires this year, which we don't tend usually to get. So anyway, there's a new bar on Camposol B called Shanigan's. It was the old fish and chip bar, and to be quite honest, I went past the other day. It looks really nice. It's really big. Wish them well. Apparently, I've been told they got Guinness on tap, not a tin, but on tap. So that's not bad, is it? They didn't give me nothing. Mazaron Council are planning to tidy up the gardens and roundabouts on Camposol, just as much as they said they're going to tarmac one of the roads leading up to D, which still hasn't materialised yet. But apparently they put out tender for gardening companies to take care of some of the gardens and roundabouts. But when that will happen, I don't know. But that's what the council said they're going to do. And last week, we've had a stint of cash machines being ripped out of walls, made a right mess, push on A. Now, thankfully, we still got cash machines on B. We still got the bank, thankfully. And Allen's does cash back. So don't panic. You're still going to get your money. But yeah, there's been a few robberies with cash machine. Thankfully, it's in the night. Nobody was hurt. These things can be replaced. I mean, that's the thing. And that's to do with the Camposol news. And I think now I'll do the intro. And after the intro, we'll go and have a chat with Mike and Yvonne when I find the intro file. Oh, I found it.
Solo un rayo del sol cambia el tiempo en el reloj. Hoy mis deudas reciben perdón. Pago por el show. Me siento feliz porque si no soy yo, pues ¿quién? Todos caen a mi lado. El freno lo arranqué. Me siento feliz porque yo no dudo mi power. Te burlaste de mí, se acabó. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más. Nada me rompe, no, nada me rompe. Trata de festejar, celebramos el bienestar. Tantas estrellas brillan y Marte me espera mientras rodea. Nada me rompe, no, nada me rompe. Tantas estrellas brillan, quiero un carro que corra más.
Oh, here we are. So, good evening, Mike and Yvonne.
Good evening.
Hello.
Nice to see you guys again. Looking rather smart there, with the old lights at the back.
Oh, the little twinkly lights, yeah.
The old twinkle, yeah, you know. Anyway,
Aye.
so I thought I'll ask a couple of questions first, and then we get on with the other questions. And
Okay.
can I ask where you two are from in the UK?
Where are we from?
We're originally from Bradford in West Yorkshire. We lived there for a while, and then we moved to Dewsbury. We were in Dewsbury for 35 years. And then last year we moved to Cleckheaton, which is where we are now.
Where we are now in our tiny little house.
Yes.
Yeah. We downsized from our house in Dewsbury, and because we're a little bit short of money, to be honest with you, because I had no work from my job, and I used to see myself through to retirement, which I'm now retired. I've now hit that age where I'm getting a pension. So that's nice.
So can I say, so you're from Yorkshire then?
Aye.
Yeah.
Is that bit of MC2 what's cobbled?
Because it's a big place, Yorkshire, isn't it? I mean, I'm not too familiar with some of the places, but it's.
Yeah.
Can I say Midlands? Is that Midlands, Yorkshire?
No. Yorkshire is the biggest county in England, Yorkshire.
Yeah.
We're in the West Riding of Yorkshire, which is where Leeds and Bradford, Barnsley, South Yorkshire, Sheffield, South Yorkshire, Doncaster, South Yorkshire. But you just go above them, go them one, get to like Pontefract, Wakefield, you're into West Yorkshire. And then there's the North Riding, which is Skipton and York. And then you've got a controversial Hull, which is, they call themselves Humberside now, but Yorkshire folk don't like that because they're actually really Yorkshire, aren't they? Yorkshire folk. But they turned into Humberside a few years ago. But it's Yorkshire, isn't it?
It's Yorkshire.
Right up to Scarborough and Bridlington. Big place, big county.
Yeah. So, why did you move to Spain?
Well, we originally had a place in Turkey for 10 years and we loved it there, but then we started getting a bit fed up. We couldn't afford Spain at that time. That were in 2007.
Yeah.
Houses in Spain were a bit too expensive, so we went to Turkey. But then after 10 years, house prices in Spain had come down quite a bit. So we had a look and thought we can afford it now at that time, and that was 2017.
Yeah, 2017, yeah.
It's nearer to home, shorter flights, cheaper flights.
Yeah, everything's cheaper in Spain, isn't it, really? I mean, Turkey, it was great with Turkey. It's a lovely place. But just too far to go, big flights, more expensive flights, 4 hours and a bit to get there. Whereas Spain, you've only got 2 hours. At the time, in 2007 when we bought in Turkey, Spain was very expensive. For example, the property we're at now would have cost us nearly 100,000 euros. We paid 59,000 euros for it in 2017. So, because of the price crash in 2008, when all the prices plummeted, a lot in Spain, as you know, Sean, it would make a big difference. And so by the time we got fed up of Turkey, we could actually afford probably to come to Spain, and that's what we did. And that's why we came to Spain.
Right, I've got two other questions there, which I've sure. One of them said, "Whereabouts in Spain do you live?" And I've already said you live in Torrevieja, Costa Blanca, and the next one I think it's going to be in one of the questions anyway. So, why did you choose Torrevieja of all places?
I think with the first place we went to in Spain was Benalmádena Costa in Costa del Sol. We are very, shall we say, tight?
That could be a good
we've never had a lot of money, so that's one of the reasons
we spend our money wisely.
Yeah, we do.
We don't like being ripped off, and we like good value for money.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, because it's expensive down south, isn't it? That's for sure.
But we did some research, like online first, looking at different areas, and just thought of the Costa Blanca.
The best value for money at the time when we were looking was Costa Blanca South. I think Murcia as well is quite good price-wise. In fact, it's very good. Some of them in Marmanor. I always get
You
that
said it
wrong. Marmanor. That's quite inexpensive comparatively. When you get up to Costa Blanca North, up there, Denia and all those places, they're really expensive, a lot more expensive than Costa Blanca South. So where we were, and we did have a couple of trips to see what it was like, and we really liked it, didn't we? We thought the place was great and really good value for money.
We did look around a lot of areas around Torrevieja.
Yeah, we did. We went to several estate agents, had trips.
Looked at lots of houses.
Yeah, I bet we looked at 100 houses probably, across 2 or 3 trips we came. So we did spend a lot of time looking.
Yeah.
And we just liked it. We just like Torrevieja is a great place. It's got everything, I don't know why it's not more money, to be honest. But it's got everything you need. It's got a lovely concert hall, the music place. It's got a lovely central church and a central square. It's got lovely beaches. It's a fantastic place to come. The prices are going up. I think they've gone up maybe 5% since we bought. They do seem to be more now. Like if you look in the estate agents and you can see the same sort of prices for that equivalent, and now they're all up to about 79,000.
Yeah.
And when we bought it was 59,000, 58,000.
Well, it was actually selling. It was going at 65, but we got it.
Yeah, we got a good deal on that.
It was
didn't we?
new on the market.
We were the first ones
they
to
are
see
more
it.
expensive now.
Yeah, definitely gone up a lot. Well, probably substantially, but still cheaper than the rest of Costa Blanca, I would say. So it's a very good value town with a lot to offer. That's what I'm saying about Torrevieja. It's a brilliant place. Yeah.
Good. Right, the questions for tonight. The first one is from Mary and Chris, and they say, "Hi, Mike and Yvonne. We hope you are well. We would like to know how you're getting on with your non-resident tax paid online, as I'm looking to change ours over from our solicitor, doing it for us, as they charge €120 to complete the form and pay it for us. Plus, the cost of the tax has nearly doubled for us since last year, since Brexit, on the cadastral value of La Manga de Marmignol from 1.1% to 1.9%. So we are keen to try the much cheaper online version you recommended a while ago."
Yeah. Well, hi, Mary and Chris.
Hi.
We did our own non-resident tax. Was it last year or the year before? We've done it once, haven't we?
We did it last year.
We did it last year, and it is it's fairly easy. It's not the sort of thing I'd enjoy doing, and I'm certainly no expert, but we actually did it. And the first stage was to get our cadastral value. We went down to the tax off the SUMA office, and I've got it here somewhere. We got a letter with our details on, the house, obviously the address, and this quite an important VJO number, and the cadastral number, which is a very long sort of 18 digit number, I think it is. And once you've got that and you go on to the tax office website, you can fill in the 210 form. It's called a 210 form, which is this. And you fill that out online, and then you end up with this. And all you do is take it to the bank, and the bank stamp you've got these barcodes on here, and they look at that, and then it's just paid, and you pay your money. It has gone up. When we last time, you pay a year in front. So this year is the first year we're paying the Brexit fees, because last year it was before Brexit, because you're paying for the year after. So it has gone up from 19% to 24% for us. It's not doubled for us like yours has, but I think it does vary from community to community. You're in Marmanor, up that way in La Manga, which is probably in a different, I think it'd be a different sort of town hall or whatever they do. I don't know how they work it out, no expert. But with ours, we pay 2%, which is actually more than you. You pay 1.9%, I think you said. So ours went up from, I think it should have been 1.1, but we paid 2%. We found out it was 2%, and we paid 2% of our cadastral value, which our property, the cadastral value is a lot less than the retail price of a property. For example, I told you it was 59,000 we paid for our house. The cadastral value of it was 36,000 something. So when we worked out the figures, it was 36,624 divided by 2 because there's 2 of us. So that's 18,300 times the 2%. We paid 2%, which worked out 366.25. And then we last time paid 19% of that, which worked out at 69.59 each. But now it's gone up post Brexit to 24%, and that 69.59 now becomes 87.90, which is quite a big increase. So it's nearly 90 euros each. So we're paying in total just short of 180 euros for the year for our non-resident tax. But we're not paying. We're saving, obviously, like you said, you're saving. Must have the same solicitor as us because they were charging us 60 euros each as well. So that's 120 euros we've saved. So it's like I say, when you do it online, you've got to persevere with it, and then there's some tricky questions there, which don't, when you get the translation, which is a little bit different. It is in English, is the site. You can go in English, and if you've got the Fijo number and the cadastral number, I think that's all you need, apart from your NIE number. Of course, you need that. Your home address in UK, if you're in UK, and your Spanish address. All these things go on the 210 form, and that's all you need to do really. And you get that, take it to the bank and pay it. Like I say, I'm no expert. It wasn't that easy. We're going to do it again when we go back. Yeah. We've got to do it. It's due before the 31st of December, as you probably know. So we've got that to do, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I bet you are.
Not really, but yeah, we'll do it. We'll get through it and save 120 euros.
It does save that, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we do like saving money, don't we?
We do.
So yeah, thanks for that question, Mary and Chris, and good luck if you can have a go for it. It's not that bad, you can do it.
We got through it.
Yeah, we got through it. Yeah.
Right.
And thanks for your comment.
Number 2 question from Brian. Could you please ask them, as a non-resident homeowner in Spain, their thoughts, recommendations, and guidance in relation to sourcing good, reliable, legal representation? God, that's a big word for me. you got it there. Property insurance, bank provision, money transfer company, all when considering buying a property in Spain.
Right. Okay. Well, we could only say our experience. We bought our house through Casas España, a very good estate agency in La Siesta in Torrevieja, and they recommended a solicitor which has been fantastic for us, Sheila Garcia, and she's from La Zenia. She's out of La Zenia. It's between La Zenia and Playa Flamenca, so on that road that goes through there. So she's in that area. She's very, very good. She's not the cheapest, I wouldn't say, but she's very, very good, and she also does the will writing service as well if you're buying from her. So that's included in the price. I think she charges 1,500 euros for the house sale and the will writing and everything else. So that's a solicitor. We can't really say anything about any other solicitors because that's the only ones I've had any experience of. Sorry, Sean.
That's all right. I mean, it's a hard one, really, trying to recommend people because it's like anything, really. You can go to a car mechanic and he's fantastic one time, and another time he's not so fantastic. You can only go by your experience, can't you?
Yeah,
really?
She's the only one we've gone with.
There's probably hundreds of fantastic solicitors, but we really know of Sheila. So.
Going back to the previous one about the non-resident tax, obviously when we first arrived here, we had to pay non-resident tax, and we was obviously new to it all, and we just relied on our solicitors they said, "Oh, we'll do it for you." So we said, yeah, okay. And we got a bill in to it come to about €500. Think much of it because we didn't know, what people pay until we started talking to other people, and they said, what? And we found out in the end, I think it would have cost us €60 each, and they charged us administration fees of like 200 each, which I thought was a bit. I mean, there were brilliant solicitors that did a fantastic job with the house, but I just thought taking it a bit, Anyway, so after that, we found somebody else that only charged, I don't know, about €100 to do everything. I mean, obviously we pay tax now. So you sort of learn as well, don't you? Really,
There's another company called Spanish Tax Online. I can't remember what they call them. It's Spanish Tax something. My brother uses them because he's got a place in Magaluf. I recommended them. I'll see if I can get that. If I can remember that, is Spanish Tax something, and they charge something like €38 for a couple. So and they pay it in the bank for, I think, for €12 each. So that's really cheap, a lot cheaper than solicitors charge. And they're online, and they're in the UK, I think. They work out the UK, so it's all for the UK non-residents. So that's one to look out for. I'll see if I can. I'll certainly put that address when I remember it. We might even look it up. They're very good.
Yeah.
But obviously,
sorry,
do it yourself. It's free.
Somebody asked me the other day. They just obviously moved to Spain. They set up their bank account with Caixa, which we're with, and obviously things have changed slightly. They had a setup fee of €350. As far as I can remember, we didn't pay nothing I didn't think we paid anything to set up a bank account. So no. I don't know if this is something new since the Brexit thing, but it's, I suppose you've got to ask all these banks what the deals are doing, guys, when you're walking into the bank. Don't just walk into the first bank. No. Like anything else, you just shop around and see what the deals are at the moment.
Yeah. Well, going back to Brian's question, when the solicitor Sheila Garcia, he asked about the house insurance. We use a company called Mapfre. We've actually been a little bit lazy in two parts of this question because Mapfre are quite expensive. They're very good, a very reputable Spanish insurance company, and Sabadell Bank that we're with are also a reputable bank, but very expensive, especially for non-residents, because we're paying €40.
€40.
Sorry, 40. I would say pounds. €40 a quarter. So that's €160 a year, which is very expensive. We don't pay that in the UK. I am looking, or we are looking at changing both Sabadell Bank and the insurance company to save some more money. And I'm sure we could do. We just have been a little bit lazy, haven't we? We haven't done it. We said like 3 years ago we're going to change our insurance.
I think because of the pandemic and everything, we just sort of left it, haven't we?
Never got round to it, and we just
because we haven't been there at that time when it was running out.
And that's true. And when you're not there for a while, then you're thinking, well, let's have a really good insurance company looking after the place in case something goes wrong. But I will look into a bank called, I'm sure you've heard of this, Sean, maybe, or some of the people that you know have got TransferWise accounts.
Oh, yeah.
It's not TransferWise anymore. It's called Wise Bank. They've changed the name. And I was looking into them, and they look really good. So, and they play, as far as I know, they pay direct debits to Spain. The bank is actually in Belgium. So they've got a Belgian number, the, the bank number. So there's no problem with them paying in, obviously it's in euros and everything else. So I'm looking at them to replace Sabadell because I've heard that Sabadell are putting the prices up again. And non-residents pay a little bit more than residents for some reason, which seems strange, but it seems to be that, having said that, if I got my insurance with Sabadell, they'd knock some of the charges off, if not all of the charges. But how much do they charge for the insurance? Yeah, it's a bit of a balancing act to see what you're going to save. If the insurance with them is cheaper than Mapfre is €180 a year, which isn't too bad. Sabadell's insurance might be 120 a year or 150 a year, but you've got the charges, and how much charges are going to knock off because you're paying 160 charges. So I don't know. I mean, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Few
Really?
things to look at.
Yeah, we're gonna research that this year, and obviously, if we find out, we'll tell everybody on our channel what how we've saved a few pounds again. But that Wise Bank does look very good. It looks like a good deal on there, and they do money transfers as well, of course, from pounds to euros, and it's supposed to be a good rate.
Right, next question. This is from Cheryl. She says, hi to you all. Do you pay more bank charges when holiday residents to if you live out there? How does it work, or does it depend what bank you're with? So we're sort of talking about the same sort of question.
Yeah. Well, I think you definitely do pay more. You pay more charges when you're a non-resident. I'm pretty sure about that. I think your charges are definitely more. I think Spanish residents do get a better deal through even the Sabadell Bank. I would think they get a better deal than what we get.
There will be some other banks in Spain that will be cheaper.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it's a matter of looking around.
We need to look around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cheryl's right. It does. I think it does depend on what bank you're with. There's going to be a better deal than I don't know what it is, but all the solicitors seem to push new house buyers into Sabadell. Maybe there's a bit of a commission going on or something.
Yeah.
But all the people I know that have bought on Altos del Limina, they've all got Sabadell bank accounts.
Yeah.
It is handy though, because of a lot of branches, and the bank is like a few hundred yards away from we are, so it's great. And they've got some good benefits that you can draw out up to €600 a day if you wanted, if you've got that much money in there.
I mean, it's like us for down here. We got obviously Casa. I mean, we got Casa actually on Camposol, and there's Casa, quite a few Casa banks in the port and in the town. So I suppose, like you said, if they're nearby, the agents are going to push you with them because it's easy for you to sort out a problem than traveling quite a distance, because it's not easy trying to talk on the phone, or you book an appointment, you turn up and they haven't booked it for you.
Yeah. But the good thing about Wise and people, because these are online banks basically. There's no branches; it's all done online. I'm with a Chase bank as well in the UK. I've only been with a Chase for a few months, and they're fantastic. If you've got a problem, they've got a chat line on the app on the phone, and you get an answer within, sometimes immediately, or sometimes within an hour. They get back to you. The service is brilliant. So there's a lot to be said for online banking, which I think this Wise bank is. It's an online European bank. So I think it's well worth a look if it's anything like Chase, because I'm very impressed with them, especially their interest rate as well. It's 1.5%. Although it's looking a bit average
others
now.
Are catching up,
because Coventry just put theirs up to 1.5%, and they're going to be overtaken. But maybe they'll put theirs back up again to get in front again. I don't know. But I am impressed with Chase, and I'm impressed with online banks, because they've got less overheads, and I suppose they can do a better deal. And what else was there? There was something else there on.
I think you've covered that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you then, Sean. As a Spanish resident yourself, are your bank charges less than €40 a quarter?
Less, 14.
And less than, yeah.
No. I mean, I pay about €32 a quarter.
Right. So, well, it's a bit less, isn't it?
But obviously, some friends of ours, Steve and Mandy, they've got an insurance policy through the bank, and that's dropped the bank charges. But like you said, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, the annoying thing here is in Spain, you pay bank charges. There's not many banks here in Spain where it's total free. I mean, they say it's free, but I think you still end up paying something. The only thing I don't like about Spanish banks, and it's why I don't like keeping money in there, is especially like if you're self-employed and things like that, they can just put an embargo on your bank account for non-payment, or they can take money out your account sometimes. I mean, I'm just going for what's on with Casa. So, but I've heard from other people from other banks. This does seem to be a tendency here in Spain that they like to take the money out, especially direct debit. Trying to cancel direct debit here in Spain is a bit of a nightmare sometimes. Still the same thing. You can give them a month's warning. I was with DKV, a health insurance company, big company. Give them the proper warnings, and it went on for 6 months. They would take us to court and all this stuff. And in the end, after phone call after phone call, they admitted that they were wrong. All the hassle, just
Yeah, well, you don't want that, do you?
No, you don't want that. But anyway, other than that, it's a lovely place.
Yeah.
Number 4, Robbie. Given the 3 months rule, which months do they find? I take it they're on about you guys here. Which months do you find best to visit? Do they have specific months, or do they just visit when the notion takes them? I will be doing the same from next May. So do you just come over when you feel like it, or do you actually think, well, obviously you're not here at the moment because it's really hot, so you don't like the heat?
Yeah, we do plan, don't we?
We like September, October, and into November. So we try and work it so that we come out at the end of August for 3 months till like the middle of November. So obviously, because you've got to spread it out over your 180. So then that we would like to go March, April, May, just spread it out. Two lots of 3 months.
Yeah, it's fairly consistent, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are the best times because, we get some decent weather in the UK, in July and August sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, we have been out in February, March.
Yeah, we've done every month, haven't we? Now we've even done January.
Yeah,
done December.
I think the only one we haven't done is July.
We haven't done July, no. But I think it's okay.
We usually go at about the same times.
Yeah.
When we can.
Yeah. So I mean, we probably, we spend about 6 months in Spain, 6 months in the UK.
Yeah. It's only if there's something else cropping up with the family that we have to be at home for that could change it.
Yeah.
And then we work around that.
90 days permitting.
90 days permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question's a pretty good one from Steve. And he says, when do Mike and Yvonne book their flights to get the best deals, and how much do they roughly cost? Or do they just say, come on, let's go next week, say?
Well, we always know sort of roundabouts when we're going to go. So we do start looking early.
As soon as we know the date.
As soon as we know when we definitely want to go, we do start looking to see what the prices are like, and if they're good, which quite often they are if you look early, we'll book them if we know for definite when we want to go.
As soon as we know, we book, because I think you get the cheaper deals as early as possible. Booking early is where you get the best deal. We've found, haven't we? Yeah.
Sometimes you sort of watch them and think, well, it might come down, but then you'll find that it's going up. So
yeah, I
think if you look at it and you think it's a reasonable price, then just book it.
Don't know how they work out the aircraft prices. I think it starts off at the lowest when they first come out, the prices, and they must have a policy where, as it fills up, the prices either go up or come down depending on how far they've got with the percentage fullness of the aircraft. I don't know. And then it gets like to a week before maybe, and they haven't sold a few seats, so then they'll come down again so they can sell the seats.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how it works, and it might be all different now because it's getting busy again, isn't it?
And we usually sort of look at Jet2s and Ryanair's and sort of work out which is the best deal, really. Last couple of times used Jet2, haven't we?
Jet2, I think, we think that because Jet2 have got their own ground staff in like Leeds Bradford Airport, where we fly from, so they're not sort of prone to people going on strike and having delays because there's some industrial action by somebody out of their control, a third party from them. they use all their own ground crew. So, and the people that load the aircraft are all Jet 2 employees. So you've got less chance of a problem with industrial action on Jet 2.
And all problems that have been over the last few months, Jet 2, there don't seem to have been any problems.
No, British Airways and Ryanair are the biggest problems out there at the moment. And they're talking about some action pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons we've been sticking with Jet 2.
Yeah, for now.
But we like Ryanair as well when they're all. I mean, they're both about the same price. I think Ryanair have got a reputation of being cheaper, but when you put all of your bags
all
on,
your
and
extras,
your seat numbers and all that stuff,
it works out the same.
It works out about the same, maybe a little bit cheaper. There's not much in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. What else did Robbie say?
I think that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, we went off a tangent about the planes there, didn't we? The 3 months rule, which one was the best? Yeah, we've done that, haven't we?
Didn't you want to say something about that?
Yeah. Because of the 90-day rule, we've just brought a video out actually last night about the 90-day rule, a brand new site called 9180.com. And if you go on there and have a look at that, or watch our video, and it'll tell you all about it. That is a brilliant site for working out your 90 days. Absolutely tremendous. It's a full calendar, because normally you just get a little window with a date. You put in the date you're going to go and the date you're going to come back. You haven't got any visual representation of the length of time you're there. Whereas on this calculator, you've got the whole year there in front of you, and you can see the rolling 180-day window as it shuttles through the calendar.
It's a lot easier to understand.
It's absolutely brilliant, yeah. And you can go sort of months in advance or months behind, or look back or look forward. And you can also log all your holidays or your trips. And it's, if you log in, you become registered, and all those dates are logged in and kept on this website. So you can go in at any time with your email address, and you can see all your dates. You don't have to put them in again. And you just keep going and booking, and it'll come up red if you go over. If you watch the video, it came out last night. It's brilliant. A guy called Phil Bellamy created the website, and buy him a coffee, because he's done a great job. Right, that's it for that, I think.
Okay. Next question by George. Is there any problems with leaving your holiday home empty while you're back in the UK? Is there a risk of squatters?
We've not had any problems, have we?
We've not found any problems, either with us or around us.
With all our neighbours. I've never heard any problems in Altos de Limona, where we are, of squatters or even burglary is very low, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of residents there, and because we're in bungalows, we've got 2 families underneath where we are.
Yeah, we're in quads, aren't we? We've got we're surrounded by people.
So there's people underneath with dogs as well.
Yeah,
a lot of dogs about.
But
no, we've never.
It's not a squatter's best target, really, where we are. They think I'm not going in there. It's too scruffy.
Nothing to pinch.
But yeah, I think we're lucky in that respect. We are surrounded by lots of people. It's a very densely populated area. So we don't have that problem.
No.
I think there'd be too many people. It'd just be too difficult for a squatter to get in there.
And it's lit. It's well lit.
It is well lit, yeah. And some of it's not gated. Some of the phases are gated. We're in phase 4.
Yeah.
And phase 3 is gated, so it's got a gate. It's got all the way around it. We haven't, but we've still never had any problems.
And it feels safe. It does feel safe, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think the only problems I've ever heard of where we are is people come knocking at the door and trying to a few con artists going around doing stuff, which we've been warned about. But again, we've got a gate that locks at the bottom, so they have to climb over the gate to get in. So it's not easy. So people that are sort of just knocking, or door knockers, or people trying to sell you something on the street, they'd find it hard to get to the top ones.
Yeah, even the bottom ones are all gated, aren't they? So
it's not a great place.
Not easy
to go knocking. If you're a double glazing salesman, you'd give up. Forget it.
Right. Next question by Steve. Do you ever occasionally hire a car, and do you have access to a pool?
Yeah, we've got a pool in our complex, a very nice one. One of our videos shows you the pool, and we did a video about our place, our bungalow that we bought. We do a little tour of all around the area, and also a tour of the house and the pool and everything else. If you want to have a look at that, and you can see it. So yeah, it's a lovely pool actually. It's got lovely grass surrounding, and it's quite big. And what was the other bit?
The car.
Car hire. Yes, we do.
Very expensive at the moment.
Yeah, very, very, very expensive. We wouldn't do it unless we had guests and visitors. Like the last time we came, we hired a car for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
12
just short
days.
13 days.
And it cost us about 500 quid altogether. It was just ridiculous. Whereas, you know, when we first came, we had a car for, I'm sure it would about 120, including.
At the moment,
I don't know what's going on there. It's more ridiculous. Than trebled, I would say. It's certainly doubled. And we do have to buy we never buy the insurance off the hire company because it's just too expensive. So we've got a policy, which I've still got. It's running until next March, I think. I pay £38 English for that. It's with a company called iCar Insurance. Got the policy there. And they charge £38 something for a year, which covers just the excess. So if you have a hire car and you dent it, the hire company are very keen to inspect it for dents when you take it back. So take pictures when you get one. And you know, that covers you for all that stuff. And it's £38 for the year, as opposed to something like, I don't know, like €18 a day or something they charge. It's a ridiculous amount. So yeah, you save a lot of money there. But even so, it's 500 quid it cost us for 13 days, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we shared that. Obviously, we split that with the people who with our, you know, our guests. Yeah. But it's still very expensive.
We'd rather use buses.
Yeah, bus €7 from the airport, Alicante airport. Get on the bus, costs us €7 each. We get home, and then we get on our bikes, don't we?
Yeah.
First thing I do is blow the tyres up, and we're off. Keep fit at the same time.
All right, the next question is a cheeky one from Kev. When's Stephen's 40th birthday, and we'll be arranging a surprise party and inviting us all. I know it's probably quite a few years yet, but come on, Mike, plan ahead.
I wish.
Well, yeah, Yvonne's got this business, you know. It's a skincare business. I think that's why she looks so young. I don't use the cream. I should do.
It's all right, Grandad. Tell everybody.
You don't use it.
Grandad. But oh, Kev makes me laugh. He's a few great comments.
Yeah, Kev always bigs out big comments.
Yeah,
right,
good to
the next
see you.
one's pretty interesting from Andy about cycling, because obviously you two are quite big into cycling. No, they have their own bikes, but do they have any recommendations for hiring bikes in the Torrevieja area, maybe based on past experience?
Yeah, we've never hired bikes, but there's a little shop by the Esequian Beach in Torrevieja called Bike Mania, and they hire bikes out. I actually tried to ask today how much it costs. I'm guessing it's about €30 a week or something, not for an electric bike, for a normal bike. But that's certainly one worth looking at because it's a really nice shop. The last time I went in there, I bought some brake pads, and the guy were really helpful. Do you remember that? He showed me how to put them on, and he told me not to do this and not to do that, you know, because you put them in different ways, you know, the right and the left, and what have you, the back of the rear and all this stuff. And it were very, very helpful. And it's a nice shop. It's not a massive shop, but they rent bikes, and there's probably about, I don't know, there's a lot actually in that area, Esequian Beach, on that bit behind on the main road. There's probably about 3 or 4 bike shops there. But that one certainly caught my eye, and it was the service from there were really good. Bike Mania, I think they've got a website, so maybe have a look at that and might give you some prices on there. Very busy, yeah. But they don't repair electric bikes. They repair anything to do with bikes, except they won't bother with the electrics because it's so complicated, and it's you know, it's do the parts, they won't have the parts and stuff. apart from that, and I think they probably rent electric bikes, I would think. But certainly worth having a check on those on their website. I'm sure they've got a website, Bike Mania in Torrevieja.
We bought ours more or less straight away, didn't we, from Decathlon?
Yeah. We got a good deal on those bikes.
Lasagna Boulevard.
Lasagna Boulevard, and we paid $5.95, didn't we? Each.
$5.99. I think there was reduced. We were on special offer from $7.99 to $5.99.
We got a great deal on them.
So yeah, they've lasted us 5 years so far,
Yeah,
haven't they?
we fancy changing them actually, don't we? So
We've had new batteries.
We've had 2 batteries, so the batteries that are in them now are quite new. But I don't know if I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Might change it.
we've been looking at different ones.
The problem is, I've got to carry them up the steps because we live on an upper, and we've got these stairs that go up where we've got to store them. We can't store them anywhere downstairs. So every time we get in, and we're not going out again, I've got to lift them up these steps and put them at the top of the 2 flights of steps, which is
Get a car.
you know, it's not that easy. When you get to my age, pensioner now, Sean.
The second part of that question from Andy was, you seem to have a good knowledge of different cycle routes around the area. So which navigation apps or software do you find will plan your routes?
Yeah, I just, when we go out, we decide, let's go so-and-so. I look at Google Earth to see the landscape, also the street view. So I just use Google Maps and Google Earth, and I plan my route there because you can zoom in and you can see the cycle tracks. And I've done that a lot, like on the M332, which goes all the way from Alicante to where you are, Sean, I think. Yeah. You can see if there's a cycle track in that part of the road just by zooming in. You can see it's usually a red or a green path. And you think, oh great, it's got a cycle track there on both sides of the road, or it's just got one on that side of the road. And that's how we decide, where we're going. I mean, we're quite au fait now with a lot of the areas, aren't we?
Yeah.
But if we're going somewhere new, I will go on Google Earth and just look at the route and make sure that we've got a cycle track and it's not too dangerous and the roads aren't too narrow. If they're too narrow, we don't bother, do we?
No.
It's not worth it, really. So yeah, Google Earth and Google Maps.
Yeah, and that's what I use for the car.
Yeah.
Right, number 10, Joanne. I don't know. It's not really for you, I don't think. But could you ask Mike and Yvonne if the non-lucrative
visa,
process and put them off? Does it put you off from relocating to Spain full time?
Yeah. Well, if we were in that position and we were going down that road, I would say no, it wouldn't put us off. I think we'd still do it because I think there's been 1 or 2 changes to the non-lucrative visa, aren't there? It's a little bit easier now. I think the main thing was the money you needed. You've got to have the insurance, the Spanish insurance policy, health insurance. And the other big part of it was you've got to have so much money. I think it was 36,000 or something.
Yeah.
So, and it was supposed to be every year you were supposed to have this money, and I think they changed it so that the first or the second year you didn't have to have it. It could see you through for 2 years or something. There was a change. I can't remember what it was, but it wouldn't put us off if we were going down that road. We'd still do it, but we're not doing it because we're quite happy with the. We'd obviously prefer to have more than 90 days and have that freedom that we had before when we had freedom of movement of people before Brexit. But we're still reasonably happy with 90 days. But we are, did I mention the 180 Days in Spain website on the Facebook group? If anybody's interested in trying to change things, there is a group on Facebook called 180 Days in Spain, and they are campaigning for 180 days instead of 90 because they're campaigning for what we give Europe. We give Europe 180 days in the UK. They can come for 180 days, whereas we can only go for 90 days to Spain or any Schengen country. So if anybody wants to get involved in that, the guy that runs the group, Andrew, is really good. There's template letters where you can send to your MP. We've written to our MP, and you can write to Spanish town halls to sort of make your point, to get people aware of the problem that we've got with this 180 days, with this 90 days. And it all helps, because if we keep making a noise about it, there's a chance that it could be altered. Certainly won't be altered by the British government. It's going to have to be altered by a bilateral agreement between the UK and Spain. That's the best way forward. And to do that, we need to make a noise and target the authorities in Spain. And if we all did a bit and wrote to them,
listen.
Yeah, if people are are interested in doing that, then have a look at that group and have a read of the comments on it. It's a really nice group, and it's a friendly group. Lots of information, template letters. You don't even have to think about what you're writing. You just download a template letter, address it to your MP or to your town hall in Spain, and see what happens. It all helps to create awareness of the problem, which I'm sure Spain want to resolve as much as we do, because it's just a pain, isn't it? So I went a bit off on tangent there.
You're going to have to
I'm
get
just on the soapbox.
The next question's been asked, really. Malcolm was asking about filling out the non-resident tax thing, which we've covered, really, haven't we?
The non-lucrative thing.
Tax.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, which we talked about right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yogi's got a question. He's got 3 questions, and we've only got 4 minutes left.
Right, we'll do it quick.
So the first one is, what limitations have been placed on your lifestyle when visiting your property in Spain?
Right, well, the biggest one is the 90-day restriction, which we've talked about.
Yeah,
that affects us and prevents us from doing what we'd like to do. And the increase in the tax, the non-resident tax, has gone up from 19 to 24%. Those are the only things I can think of that have affected us, apart from probably little things to do with I don't know, traveling and things like that post Brexit. But those are the 2 main things that have affected us that I can think of. Other things, little things, are probably a little bit token, really. But those 2 things are the 2 things that have affected us the most. Would you say anything else?
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I can't think of it.
and this last one there was, has there been any positives as a result of Brexit on your lifestyle in Spain, in your opinion?
It's a long answer, this. No. No positives whatsoever.
That's that question over with.
None whatsoever. I can't see any positive thing at all.
No.
Nothing positive.
Right, the last question, if we can get that in, is from Brian. In their opinion, on the effect on compliance with UK house insurance, if out of the UK for extended periods, I have heard that there was a maximum period of 30 days away, after which the insurance companies insist on charges to cover their will provide. It would be useful to hear more on this. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, we're with privilege insurance, and we only pay £119 or something. It's a really small amount of money. But I rang them this time and I said, what happens if we go away for 90 days? And they said, you can't really do it. They won't cover you. I think the actual limit is 45 days on the insurance companies. Although I think privilege, somebody said something about a 60-day absence that you can do once. So if I rang them up tomorrow and said I'm going away for 90 days, they won't cover me. So they said they'd do it once for 60 days, but not for 90. So something's got to be sorted out, really. You've got to have another policy. We were recommending somebody, a number in Leeds, to ring that specialised in, but it's a different type of policy. It's because the insurance companies consider that if you're away from your house for more than 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, it's obviously a bigger risk, and the policy price is going to be more. So I think that's what the problem is. I'm going to look into that probably in the next couple of days and just see to make sure that we are covered while we're away. I know I can do it once, but if I rang again the year after and said I'm going away again for 60 days or whatever, they won't do it. They'll say, no, I'm sorry, you can't do it. And you're gonna have to get. And I said, well, what do I have to do then? And then they gave me another number. Ring these people. They specialise in that type of thing. So I think most insurance companies are the same.
It'd just be a lot more expensive, I would imagine.
Yeah, but look at Spain. Where we're map free, and it's insured as a holiday home, and we pay €180 a year for that. So why can't obviously the British there's a British insurance company that will do the same, but we just haven't found where it is yet. I don't think it's a problem. I just think it's a matter of finding the right policy with the right insurer. So I think it is a problem with a normal domestic insurance policy. They don't like you going away for more than, and I'm pretty sure it's 45 days. So that is a.
Thank you very much, guys. Most appreciate your questions.
Back on time.
Yeah, that's not bad going, is it?
I hope you both come back again later on in the year, or probably later in the year.
Well, we might be a bit nearer then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I just want to. Everybody that put the comments in, I didn't have a chance to go through it tonight, guys, but I did have a quick look, and there's a lot of banter going on, which is good to see. So next month in September, I've got Chris and Lillian. Now they bought a Finca cum cave house, which is obviously a lot of people may be interested in to know how their lifestyle is. So they're going to be on the 29th of September. Then got, just before I forget, they've got a YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, see how their lifestyle is going on. Because at the moment, they're in the cave house at the moment. It's just amazing how massive it is. There's a lot of work in there, but it's called Tales from the Cave Side Cave House.
Wow. It's nice and cool in there.
Yeah.
I want to thank you very much. Most appreciate you, Mike and Yvonne. And
thank you.
Hopefully see you in the next couple of weeks when you come over. Anyway, adios.
Adios.
Put the good night bit on.
Yeah.